Hey guys, this is 681 Shadow, your coach of the Connecticut Crocodiles and the commissioner of the CPC Pokemon League, which was kind of redundant, but anyways, we'll just go on. So this is the long-awaited application video for our 4th season. And as some of you know, if you kept up with our off-season between Season 3 and Season 4, we have a new co-commissioner in Fallop, and his link will be down the description below, along with some other links, such as the CPC YouTube, the CPC Twitter, and a few other people that I will get to in just a moment here. But if you're wondering, 61 Shadow, what is the CPC? The CPC which stands for the Continental Pokemon Championship, and it is a Pokemon Draft League that is based on Pokemon Showdown. And basically, it's kind of like a sports league where you draft a bunch of Pokemon. You have a match every week, and the best few records go to playoffs, and eventually a champion is crowned. So it's pretty fun, and we all definitely do enjoy it. So hopefully you'll stick around to watch our coaches this season. So in terms of the draft this season, we are moving to a new sort of format, because in the past for our main seasons we used the GBA tiers to draft our Pokemon. And after Season 3, we decided that we should try to make our own type of tiering, or however we would try to have it. So we decided that a budget draft would be the best way to go. Basically, each person is getting 110 points to spend on a Pokemon. The better Pokemon are, of course, worth higher points, and the lesser Pokemon are worth lower points. The budgets they won't be revealed. The prices for each Pokemon, they won't be revealed just yet. However, they will probably be revealed publicly sometime on the CPC YouTube channel. So definitely go subscribe to that. So we had to figure out how things are going to be priced and what Pokemon should be banned or allowed that were not banned or allowed previously, and also for the new generation. We had a bunch of help. Myself and Fallop, we recruited some very talented Draft League players, and all of the links will be in the description down below, but I'll just list off their names here. So we have Aberforth, Jolt from the Token Minorities, Champion Yost, Matty Brawlick, Iron Flash Gaming, and Prado. So all of these guys did a really good job we did like a bunch of voting and a lot of discussion to really solidify the format. So without any further ado, let's get on to what Pokemon are now banned and what Pokemon are now allowed. So for what's banned, our bans for the season is all Pokemon that are classified as Ubers, and the ones that are banned, well, 2 of them being new, and then 2 of them being just Pokemon that are in the OU tier that are worth mentioning. So first off is Pheromosa, second off Tapu Lele, third off Megalodios, and fourth we have Mega Metagross. So those are definitely some very strong Pokemon. So we decided that it's in our best interest to have them banned for the season. And of course, for bans, they will be ever changing, because of course the meta is ever changing. So if there's a Pokemon that's banned here and somehow it's not as good later on, then maybe it will be unbanned. Like we have an example of that when I go to the Pokemon that are not banned for this season. We have an example of Pokemon that used to be banned but is no longer banned. Actually, 2 of them, as a matter of fact. Well, one of them's been banned for the entirety of CPC. The other one we had in our Season 1, I believe. So to get on to the Pokemon that are allowed for the CPC, we have 4 main ones. Technically 5, but I didn't see the sense of putting it on here because it's been a Pokemon that's been in CPC since Season 2, which is Landorus Incarnate. So you're allowed to use Landorus Incarnate in the CPC. And the unbanned Pokemon, we have Greninja, but however, you can only use Torrent. So that means you cannot use Battle Bond, and you cannot use Protean. So Greninja can only use Torrent, and then for Blaziken can only use the Blaze ability, so you cannot use Speed Boost. And then the big one that you might be asking, the vote ended out. I forgot how many votes it was for allow or not allow, but we are allowing Mega Kangaskhan this season with the restriction that you cannot run Seismic Toss, which makes sense because Seismic Toss will do the same amount of damage, and that's 2 times. Because if you did not know, for Generation 7, Mega Kangaskhan got nerfed, and it got nerfed because the parental bond, now instead of the second attack doing 50% of the first attack, and now it only does 25%. So it's a lot weaker, and now based on the National Pokeball League, who has used it, as well as there's probably some other leagues who have used it and other people who have tested it, but it seems that it's more dealable now, so we are allowing it this season. And then the other Pokemon is Hoopa Unbound, which is a pretty one-dimensional Pokemon. So we feel that we can allow the Hoopa Unbound this season. So now that we have the bans out of the way, now we can talk about some very big news. We have for this season, this is the first time in CPC. Not only do we have our main league, for the first time we are having a D league. So this is CPC Season 4, as well as the CPC D League Season 1. And this is very important because there's some distinctions between the 2 leagues. Like for the Major League, you are required to upload your matches to your YouTube channel for every week, and these matches will be going up on Mondays. And if you want to apply to majors, there's a rule set in place that if you don't upload your match on upload day without a valid reason, you'll first get a warning, but then if it happens again, you will get a point deduction from your point total. Meaning, if you have 110 points, you'll be forced to lower your point total. Like, for example, you'll be forced to drop a Pokemon that is worth 6 points for a Pokemon that is worth 5 points because your overall point total will have gone down. So it's kind of a forced transaction to adjust your point total. So if you want to apply for if you want to be in majors, then definitely be sure to keep that in mind. And for the D League, there's no upload requirement. It's basically just get your battles done, and that's basically it for the distinctions between the majors and the D League. And it's going to be very exciting to have both there. So now, I know you've all been waiting for it, the application. I'm just going to go through the questions here rather quickly because I don't want this to turn into the off-season application video that went for like half an hour. So definitely, just questions here. The first question being, what is your Discord along with your 4-digit tag? So basically, for this, you need to give me the 4-digit tag. Like, I had a few people that applied for the off-season that did not give me that tag, so I physically cannot find you on Discord unless you're somehow in a server that I'm in or something else like that. So you need to give me the 4-digit PIN. I can't stress that enough, or else, because if you want to be in CPC and you don't give me that, I cannot contact you unless you give me some other information. Like this next question, which basically just asks for your Twitter handle. So basically Twitter handle just @ and then your Twitter name. So like my Twitter's @681shadow, so that would be what you would put there. So then our next question is, please outline your Pokemon draft experience. The more info, the better, because because for these applications, we like to tweak things based on what we see from the previous season's application. So in the previous application, we saw a lot of people not giving us too much information on this question, which does not really help us to figure out to figure out how much draft experience everyone has, because you can put a number of leagues you've been in, but that doesn't tell us how long you've been playing in the format and things like that. Like you could have been in like 30 leagues in the span of like a few months, but I've been in like 10 leagues in the span of over a year. So that's definitely something to consider. So then our next two questions are related to each other. They ask for your team name. So like for example, my team name is the Connecticut Crocodiles. Our criteria for team names is not really that strict. It's just have like a place and have a either have a place, have a Pokemon, or it could be a pun on a professional team name. So then after that, we have, this is a very important one. Do you have a YouTube channel that you upload to? If so, link the channel here. This question, for those of you who are deciding how if you're wondering how you distinguish between majors and D League, if you link your YouTube channel for this question, and this question is not required on purpose, because if you link your YouTube channel here, then you're in the pool of people who have a chance to make it into the major league. However, if you do not link your channel here, then you will only be in the pool of people that are being considered for the D League. And also, I'd like to note that if you're in the pool of people that are being considered for the major league, but you do not get in because we do only have a limited number of spots for the major league, and it's a lot less than what we have for the D League, you are still able to be considered for the D League. Technically, everyone is in consideration for the D League, but we have only those who will be uploading to YouTube for the major league. So the next up, we have a question that's asking for your best and worst replay in Pokemon Draft Leagues from as recently as possible, so that we can accurately gauge your skill, and also let us know how long each of them took a place. And that because we're asking for as recently as possible, because a replay from like 6 months ago is not really gonna help us gauge how much you've improved or how skillful you are now. That just shows us how skillful you were 6 months ago, and you could definitely improve a lot in 6 months. And if you've never been in a Pokemon Draft League before, you can just send us a replay of you playing on the Pokemon Showdown ladder. And so our next question is, how much will you prioritize the CPC? This is just to make sure we have active coaches and to make sure everything gets done on time. So primary league would be, if it's your primary league, that would be great. Secondary league, that's also really good. But then below secondary, that's kind of where we start to draw the line. But even so, your other credentials, even if it's below secondary, your other credentials and what you put on the application may be able to get you a spot. So then our next question is, will you be able to draft in mid or late April / early May? And I say, and there's all those dates there because we are not holding the majors draft and the D League draft at the same time. That would be really hectic and would like stress us out more than we already are. So the mid to late April one is for the major league, and then once we're a couple weeks into the major league, we will have the D League draft. So definitely let us know if you'll be available for those. And then the next question we have here, we're almost done with the application. For each season, we interview the coaches. It's usually me, because I just love doing coach interviews for some reason. I really like getting to know the people that I'll be competing against. So this just asks how available you are in the mid-April time, like around the time we'll be drafting. So say whether you're very available, partially available, or you have a tight schedule. And if you have a tight schedule, or if your time zone is an issue there, then definitely we can try to work around that. And our last question is one that you should definitely take into a bit of thought, because we're definitely going to read these, and this is a very important question for the application. Why do you want to be a part of the CPC Season 4 and or the CPC D League Season 1. And we honestly want you to elaborate as much as possible on this question, so we know why you want to be in CPC and whether you will be a good fit or not for the season. So that's all for the application. I'm really excited to see how many people will apply for this. This video is going out on March 12th, and the application deadline should be. Let me just check my notes right now. I planned all this out. We're gonna be closing the application on April 1st. So anytime before April. So basically, you all have until the end of March to send in your application for the CPC, and then hopefully a week or two after, we will be contacting you to let you know that you made it. If you did not make it, you will not be contacted, because that requires us to go through a very high amount of names, as we did have about 60 applicants for our off season, and who knows how many will apply for this one. But we're expecting great things for the season. So if you want to apply, the link to the application is in the description down below. Thank you all for watching this video. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and share. Remember to check out all the people down in the description below, as well as the CPC Twitter and the CPC YouTube for more updates on the league. And I will see you all next